The project starts with my friend sending me the link to this $500 F-250 listed on Marketplace minutes after it was listed. A few quick messages to the seller, and I'm on the way with a trailer and a can of brake clean after he says I can have it for $400 before he crushes it. Unfortunately, I didn't get any footage of looking at the truck with the seller, but after finding a spare battery out of one of his other vehicles, we cranked it and it wouldn't start. Interestingly, the fuel pump turned on and ran for as long as you had the key on. This is important later. Anyway, we sprayed some brake clean into it, and it fired right up, but sounded like it was running on 4 cylinders. It would only go into reverse, and when you put it in drive, it engaged, but would not move, just stall against the torque converter. After towing it home with my 4-liter Grand Cherokee, the ultimate tow rig, it sat while I did some research on the symptoms. Countless forum posts show that a failing engine computer will have a constant check engine light, a fuel pump running at all times with the key on, and only one bank of cylinders firing with what appears to be a bog down when you try and give it throttle and gear. Exactly the symptoms I'm having. A failing computer can have many different symptoms, including a various combination of these, so if you're experiencing similar issues, might start by checking the engine computer. Now, while most people would replace the engine computer, I have repaired computer boards in the past, so let's give it a shot. What happens is these engine computers have electrolytic capacitors on them that fail over time and heat cycles, and they leak their electrolyte on the board, which causes all kinds of problems. $12 of capacitors in an hour with a soldering iron, and we should be back in business.
This truck is straight piped, and this ECU is repaired. It's almost midnight. Let's go fire it up. Alright, ECU is kind of crappily hooked up. Battery's hooked up. First thing we're going to do is see if the fuel pump keeps running. When we turn the key to run, we'll see what happens. And if the check engine light goes off. So the pump turns off. Get out of here before the neighbors get pissed off. Now, somebody screwed up somewhere. This thing runs on about 4 or 5 out of the cylinders that it has, and we're not going to do a compression test because we're lazy and the motor's hot. So I'm like, hey, you know what? Let's pull up the firing order and see something fishy over there. First thing we did, we actually rebuilt that ECU. We soldered some new capacitors in it. And,
correctly installed as well.
For testing purposes. So current thing I am doing is tracing all of the wires in the firing order to me. That's way off. That's number 7, right? 7. Okay, so our firing order should be 137265548. We currently have 1726548. 3. Trouble. It says... Okay, we need to find top down on cylinder 1, don't we?
Not really.
No?
Why would we do that?
Because I think this is in the wrong spot. I think all of this is
think
wrong.
It's all hajoopy juked.
So 1 and 3 get switched. At least that's what I'm gonna do. And hopefully we don't. This is a relatively new looking cap. Somebody's been in here before. They just didn't know what they were doing. Which is good. Neither got the truck driving for $440.
Neither do we though, so I don't know if that's really.
Okay, 137.
I think those two were literally just switched.
That would be hilarious if this thing ran mint, because I was actually going to do a tune-up, but that mitigates that. Yeah!
Test drive! Test drive?
Yeah! It does idle. Idling is safe function that the vehicle is doing right now.
Well, that's ideal. Ideal, get it?
Those brakes do work.
To O'Reilly! Would you say detailing is your passion?
Absolutely.
We're just gonna do the windshield so we can save the power washing porn for later.
Exactly. Yeah, let's do 5 miles of the walls to bring it down.
Honestly, just go diesel at this point.
Well, it looks like we got our work cut out for us. We're in the middle of a tune-up and pulled the intake manifold because I wanted to pull the injectors and clean them to, you know, maybe fix whatever was gumming up the injector or whatever was causing a little misfire. I think we found the problem. So I already pulled those wires. We're going to cut them, strip them, and run a new pigtail to it. So just a quick little repair right here. Soldered in some new wire. And then right here, notice this has been chewed but not all the way through, so we're going to get some liquid electrical tape and put some in there. Alright, so we re-O-ringed our injectors and we are currently working on putting the fuel rattle back together.
Since I've had the truck, I've probably put about 2,000 miles on it with relatively few issues. Also painted the letters on the back just so they would contrast with the white of the bed. I just like how it looks. Currently using a cinder block as a cup holder because I had one laying around and why not? It works just fine. Broke down and had to put a radio in it just because, and finding all the wiring was really fun. Hauled around a friend's 454 engine project, threw a toolbox in the back, and then welded a scrap bench seat to the bed.
Plateau in the Volvo.
Also took 3,000 pounds worth of scrap brake rotors to the scrap yard, making as much money as I did, I paid for the truck. Moved a small shop and am towing around my buddy's project car. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe if you enjoyed. Thank you for watching, and we'll see you next week when we post the full power washing video.